Well, good afternoon. This is Captain Patrick Worley again joining you. This is kind of the third installment in our series. We did charter yachts in terms of yachts that you're looking to purchase. Monohull versus catamaran. I thought there was a lot of good information there. New versus used. Boy, that's hard to get done in less than 5 hours, but I think we did a good job there of kind of looking at both issues from 30,000 feet. This is the final, I guess, kind of chapter, and this is very simple. Sail versus power. So once again, let's kind of talk about each one of them. I've owned many of them, own them now, and I can tell you that each of them has distinct advantages and, of course, some disadvantages as well. So let's talk first of all about power. Power's great. I mean, come on, you can screw those throttles on. When we're in our power cat, we go blowing by those poor people that are sailing. Of course, they are enjoying themselves. They are having a good time. They're in the sun, maybe an adult beverage in their hands. But there are times when I want to get somewhere. Maybe a storm is coming. I want to get there so I can get the last mooring ball. Power is great for that. Some of the advantages, again, is you're up, you're on plane. It tends to be very stable. You're maybe not wallowing the way that you would in a sail power cat, for instance. And again, we're talking pretty much about catamarans today. Power catamarans are becoming more popular. By the way, that's important because when you go to sell, remember we always talk about exit strategy. What's your yacht going to be worth? Here's something a lot of people don't think about. A lot of people love to boat. They would love to come down and take my boat out for $30,000 a week, or take mine out in a crew charter setting for maybe $40,000 a week. They don't know how to sail. Oops, well, that's a problem. Of course, all of us know people that know how to sail, but I'm saying that if you've got somebody that's been operating maybe a large fishing boat, or maybe we started off with water ski boats, water skiing when we were kids, learning how boats handle, and they got bigger and bigger, and we started taking larger boats out and getting accredited on them, and larger boats, and of course my captain's license. So a lot of people feel very comfortable on a power cat. They don't feel comfortable these days on a sail cat, because they like that speed. They like the ability, if there's an emergency, they can get back very quickly. So when you start to think about it, power cats have a lot to offer. Now, one of the issues, of course, is that you're going to run the engines, and I know this is going to sound funny, but you're going to run the engines the whole time. I mean, at least in a sailboat, you're not going to have as many hours, obviously, on a 2, 3, 4-year-old sailboat, because you've been sailing quite a bit of the time. Hopefully, that was the whole point. Whenever you go on a website, the Moorings or one of the other websites, and you start looking, it always shows people sailing. They're out in the sun, they're having great, everybody's enjoying themselves, and so forth and so on. Another issue with power cats is there are people that have been told by their doctors, you know what? No more sun for you, not as much sun for you. So again, I've got a lower station, a lower helm in my power cat that I can steer from and stay completely out of the sun. And by the way, stay in the air conditioning the whole time. So as I get older, I want a little bit less sun, heat, and drama in my life, and power cats are the way to go. Now, I would have to say though, let's talk about sail cats for a moment. If I was looking at two identical vessels at approximately the identical prices in terms of something to put into charter, I would probably think about a sailboat. And the reason why, and this is very evident, is that more people will come down to the British Virgin Islands or to the Examas or the Bahamas or wherever to sail, to take a romantic sailboat out than a power cat. They're still more popular. How do you know that, Patrick? Thank you for asking. Look at the fleet numbers. In any large fleet, anywhere in the world, it's going to be mostly sail cats. There's a reason for that. And that is that those go out more often for a lot less money than a power cat. Another issue, by the way, these days that I don't probably have to tell you about is diesel prices. And diesel prices were already high in the islands. They're sky high now. That being the case, we've come back many times from a week or an 8, maybe a 9-day charter on a sail catamaran, and we've had a diesel bill of less than a couple $100. And we've come back on power cats with a diesel bill of $1,500. So once again, it's all part of the overall experience, the costs, the fees, groceries, airfare. Of course, your clients, people that are thinking about chartering your yacht, again, GI, crude, variable program, whatever, they're weighing all those costs. And sometimes you throw another $1,000 or $1,500 diesel bill into the deal, and that kind of can make an issue. So again, from the top, sailboats are more common. They rent for less money. They sell for less money in some cases, depending on the year, the make and the model. But again, they're very popular because people embrace the idea of sailing in the Caribbean. You get the sails up, you turn those nasty engines off, and you're just sailing along, nothing but the power of the wind and freedom and sun in your hair and so forth and so on. Power cats, a lot of people call them stink pots. There's exhaust, there's engine noise. Brother, you can get there when you want to get there, and you can do anything you want to do while you're there, and then get on to the last anchorage of the night. So again, a couple different things to think about. Again, in a charter setting, we've talked about new versus used. New is kind of have some advantages there. We've talked about monohull versus catamaran. Catamarans, probably some advantages. Again, sail versus power, probably sailboats. Again, power's great. Power's becoming more popular, by the way. There's more models now than there were just 4, 5, 6 years ago, and more models on the drawing boards. But sometimes you just want to put that main up, crack open a cold beer, and wait for Bermuda to arrive on the horizon. So again, Captain Patrick out. If there's issues that you want to discuss in your particular circumstance, give us a call. Be happy to help. Thank you very much.